New airdrop claims, token announcements, tokenomics, and one of the biggest narratives of 2025 taking form. Let's get started. Starting with some incredible news for everyone with compromised wallets. Apparently, if you have a compromised wallet and you want to claim an airdrop, then you cannot actually do that because the gas tokens get immediately ported out of the wallet. So the way this Zune 2025 dude on X has had it sorted in a GitHub repository, he's already building for 2 weeks something that will actually allow you to claim your airdrop from a compromised wallet and of course send it directly to a non-compromised wallet. So once this is sorted, we'll make sure to keep you posted, but this is for everyone who has had some trouble with in DeFi over the last couple of years and maybe has a compromised wallet. Now, to claims and a checker. If you have bought the Farcaster Pro subscription and you were among the first 10,000 who get the NFT, you have actually received 200,000 of these Pro tokens, which, depending on what time you sold, you could have made between $100 to $500 from a $120 yearly subscription. And then there's also an airdrop from the Solyd case holders. So this is the Solana Seeker phone casing that promised airdrops, and the first one has arrived. It was pretty much peanuts for now, but any extra is always welcome. And there is Layeredge Foundation with their Airdrop Checker. If you farmed this one, we can go really quickly over the blog, who has actually received this. It was for Proof of Humanity verified node runners, it was for verified referrals, and also for OG Pledge Pass holders. Also, there's something for early social contributors and demonetization bait. So yeah, that is everyone who qualified. Now, main topic for today, mindshare wars. Kaito is firmly in the lead and still positioned to be the next Celestia when it comes to passive airdrops, considering that Humanity Protocol is allocating 2.2 million worth of H tokens to Kaito ecosystem, namely stakers and yappers. And from token price perspective, it has been doing surprisingly well over the last couple of weeks of choppy waters. It is currently sitting at just under $2 at a unlocked market cap of 458 million. The only problem is that the total supply of all tokens is 1 billion, and currently the circulating is of just under 250 million. There's a lot more unlocks and possibly price suppression coming in the future from this angle. So why is this important? Well, crypto has always been a sort of tokenized attention. Sure, it might be the future of finance and technology, but let's be real, we're probably years, if not decades, away from that reality. So at the moment, we're all just kind of speculators and just working with tokenized attention. And the mindshare has proven to be the best metric in recent times to actually evaluate a project's future and present. Therefore, platforms such as Kaito have just continuously shipped new interesting projects, such as the latest one that you've seen on crypto Twitter for last couple of days continuously, which is this Stay Loud and their Loud token. And not everyone agrees with me on this point, especially Santiago in particular is very bearish on this concept, but we cannot ignore the fact of valuable debate and discussion that you can only get in a private community of serious DeFi degens who really understand airdrops and have been doing it for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years in some cases. If you want to be a part of this community, you can join by simply going on the official link on the official website, and here in the subscriptions tab, you will find all information regarding the yearly, monthly plans, as well as an airdrop tracking application to keep you organized. As well, there is an NFT collection generating you 10% in yield, token yield for every month, and we're hoping to get back to stablecoin terms as soon as possible, courtesy of our real yield legend, Chris. And to add on the topic before, how easy it is to click on the wrong thing in crypto. So for example, this first post just underneath the main official announcement of @stayloud.io is actually a phishing link. And the guy or entity has this golden check mark. So you would think, okay, golden check mark, it's verified, whatever. You click on the thing, takes you to the website. And just interacting on the website, just clicking on the links to see tokenomics, claims, etc., it asks for a wallet connection. Wait a minute, why are you asking for a wallet connection if I'm just browsing the website? So you always have to be on your toes. I realized that's odd, that's really odd. I go back to this link and I see, oh. So you can write in whatever you want in this name tag, but you always have to look at the at checkmark, like @name. So of course, Loud has @stayloudio, and this one has something completely different. So another reminder not to click on the wrong thing, otherwise the tip from the beginning of the video might be more handy than you would like to have it handy. And some of us who've been on X for a while know that usually the golden checkmark used to be $4,000 per year, but now you can get it for $200 per month. So it makes the scammer's life a lot easier. So never a dull moment in crypto.
Hey guys, we partner with What Exchange, one of the greatest decentralized exchange right now in the market. I love that you can see everything on your screen at once. You can connect to What Exchange from different mainnets, and you can see here the list of hundreds of tokens. They are continuously adding more tokens each week. And What Exchange has an active airdrop. They are going to distribute 30% of the total supply, guys, into this airdrop. So that is why I am super bullish trading here too. You can see here the point section that they added recently, so you can check everything about your progress on this airdrop. And in trading, you can see how many order tokens you earn because they have this payback system from the fees that you pay. Part of that goes back to you on order tokens. So check the link on the description to join to What Exchange, trade on the platform, participate on the airdrop of the 30% of the supply, and also get some order tokens back. All the links are in the description.
Now, regarding the Loud token itself, if you have actually added your Solana wallet, like we've said on the Kaito website a couple of weeks ago, you could have gotten an early allocation for this. And I have so many friends who have got into this token at sub 100K market cap and currently it's sitting at about 6 to 7 million. So you have to account this into your calculations. It has been going to about 16 to 20 million in market cap over the last couple of days. And now, as you can see, the amount of tokens claimed is nearly all of them. So maybe the token price is going to have a little bit of less selling pressure. But at the end of the day, when we talk a little bit more about tokenomics, you will understand that this is just basically, I don't want to say glorified Ponzi, but let's get into details of tokenomics. So let's start from the token launch. They had an initial attention offering, a new way to launch a token where basically there was a certain whitelist criteria for top 100 loud yappers, people who talked the most about this launch before time. And then the second phase was reserved for community access, everyone who has added a Solana address and had at least 10 plus smart followers on the Kaito AI platform. And the way this works was there was 0.2 SOL contribution for 1,000 wallets in the first 2 hours, and the other, roughly 25,000 wallets, had also received a 0.2 SOL contribution, but this was, of course, reduced a little bit because the subscription was oversubscribed by 2.5x. So probably everyone received about 0.075 SOL worth of tokens. However, as mentioned before, you need to understand that this was given to people at under 100K market cap in most cases. So people who got in on these early stages have probably already dumped their tokens at a huge multiples. So the fact that this is still sitting at around 6 to 7 million in market cap, you need to understand that this is still 100x for most people who got into these early stages. And looking at the chart, it does seem like this is either a manipulation week or some whales are seriously bidding. We're also going to talk a little bit about the mechanics and Meteora opportunities, but then you need to wait for this to start forming some meaningful range first. So what are the mechanics behind this crazy social experiment? First step is that yappers, KOLs, influencers talk about loud on X, and through power of Kaito, they increase the mindshare of the token itself. Speculators then trade the loud token. They also LP in DLMMs and different places through loud SOL LPs. These fees are sent in SOL into the mindshare pool, which is then being rewarded in turn for people who started the whole thing and started increasing the mindshare to begin with. And only top 25 per week earn these fees. And it's important to say that we weren't paid by neither Kaito nor Loud token to promote it. This is just an unbiased opinion of how things could work in practice. As far as I know, they only track X engagement and not any other platform like Farcaster or YouTube. Maybe something to consider for the future, but for now we can be as transparent as possible. Also, something to keep in mind that there is a huge thread regarding this whole topic that I will share among all the other links that are always in the first link of every description of every video. But the founder itself says that this is an experiment on attention value markets, and it calls its own token a worthless token. So keep that in mind, the fact that the worthless token can make such a buzz on the market. It might all be vaporware, but it also might be something. Mindshare is becoming the most crucial aspect of a project's current state and possible future. So there's a reason it's one of the biggest metas of 2025. So what can we do now to make some money out of it? Well, first of all, you can try to make some kind of Twitter posts or whatever. If you have a lot of following, you can definitely get on the leaderboard. But for the rest of us, we can try to find some legit pools and, of course, the right ranges where we can generate a lot of money on fees. And the best place to do that is, as always, Meteora.ag. They also have a version 2, which allows you to have some dynamic pools, but more on that later. Let's start with the one that we know from before, which is the standard Meteora.ag website. Here you can see that currently TVL is just under 1 million with 24-hour volume of just over 1 million, which is really not great. But even at these ranges, it is also giving, as of last 24 hours, about 5% daily yield. Now, assuming that the token has started to maybe find some kind of range, this is on the hourly chart, seems to have bottomed out for now, but who knows? It might be a good place to start maybe creating a very, very wide range, because of course this is a new launch, new token, so you really need to take impermanent loss into account. We might do a comprehensive update on V2 for Meteora in the future if people still believe it's going to be a good airdrop. However, for now, the main difference is simply from UI perspective, all the functionalities appear to be the same or very, very similar. So first thing we're going to do is going to go to this dynamic pool, which is a new version. And here we can see that it's the same in V1 and V2, also generating just under 5% daily. So let's try to get the concentrated liquidity in this correct DLMM pool. And first of all, we need to make sure that we have the correct contract address, because you can see that this one, which actually has 15 million of fake propped up volume generated by someone who wanted to be on the top page of Meteora, it's actually a fake token. And you can always find the correct contract address by simply going to their official website and finding that they have the correct contract address directly on their front page. And that is this one. So once you have copy-pasted the correct address, you can find it manually by simply putting it here, and you will make sure to be in the correct pool. And once you know that you are in the correct pool, you can decide on the bin step and the fee rate as before by comparing TVLs compared to volumes. Also, one very crucial thing to note about this, especially for new launches, it can happen very often that a specific pool is going to generate hundreds of millions or at least tens of millions in volume in the first couple of hours, and then the next 20 hours it's got like hundreds of that volume. So this is not perfect metric, it tracks every 24 hours, so keep that in mind, but it still gives you a general idea which pool is the best. And historically, one of the best pools has usually been this 101 bin step, generating currently 40% in the 24-hour fee compared to TVL. Also, this can be misleading because sometimes people can withdraw from this pool, but the volume stays, but it still gives you a rough, good estimate which pool is the best. If you can do this manually and manage it every couple of hours, it is best, because you also need to keep track of impermanent loss on your own, unless you're using some tools such as HawkFi or maybe even DeFi Tuna if you want to yield farm with leverage. And once you've decided on the specific bin and fee step, you can make sure one more time to check all the potential price ranges for the token and narrowing it down from 1 hour to 30 minutes, and then also lower time frames all the way from 5 to even 1 minute if you're going with real size. And here we can see that maybe some kind of bottom is being formed. By the time you're watching this video, you will have a much clearer picture. And to wrap things up, we have some very good news from Rhea. The tokenomics have been released, and here it states that at least 45% of the entire token supply is reserved for community. And that is a wrap for the Mindshare Meta Wars of today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, have an amazing day.